What a great tagline.
That is a great
Down.
tag.
Get the gold
Writing
with
it down.
Goldy.
Get it with Goldy. Are you guys connecting to Instagram?
My ring
I
light
Oh.
just went off,
unconnected. and
Now we're good.
reconnected.
which is
Now we're
fine.
good.
Is there a witch?
Hey, everybody. This is Dope or Nope. What's up, people? Thanks for joining us this week. This is Dope or Nope, where we play 1 hour of amazing demos you've never heard before. And we haven't either. Our panel today, Mr. Austin Kramer, who will be a DJ today. DJ Austin Kramer. So
Howdy.
he's a curator. He's a now a record producer and an artist. He will have a track out in a couple of weeks on Armada Music. Pretty happy about that. And also DJ. Did you ever think you'd be all those things?
Well, everyone else makes it look so easy, so I thought I'd give it a shot.
Sure. I'm sure you will too.
Just kidding.
You can find him on One World Radio, Essential Playlist, Essential Tunes. You got to follow him on Spotify and Instagram and find out every week what the essential hot tunes are. Raquel Goldy, Vinny's Vibes host, Pitbull Globalization Channel on Sirius XM. She is also a she does that. And if there's anything you want to know about social media, how to make it better for yourself, how to get your hands up in the air so people see you, ask her that as well. And she will cover everything K-pop, period. End of story.
And now,
She is
Sirius
also a
XM
host
Hits 1.
on Hits 1. You can. What time's the shift? It's on Sunday.
It's once a month, so whenever
Once
they
a
tell
month.
me. But it was 5 to 7 last week.
Nice. You can hear her there. She is such a great host, by the way. Very pleasing to the ears, along with the music. Nick Dietrich from the Disco Fries, from Liftoff Recordings, and an NFT shop near you, and Lauren Padman, Vice President at Dimmock Records, and all-around studio aficionado. You'll get the most out of those two guys right there in regards to like your studio effects and plugins and all that bananas.
What a
stuff.
compliment.
Yeah.
That's a nice compliment.
Serious. I'm just here to drive the bus. And my name is Hess. You can find me promoting records anywhere you think someone would want to hear them. And this is Dope or Nope. What's the first demo, Austin? What are we doing?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to know, are you guys approving the bed volume right here?
Well, that's loud now.
That's loud.
Hot.
Oh, wow.
Easy,
Okay, yeah,
Mr. DJ.
Here.
we've been rocking.
That's nice where it is now.
You like that?
That's nice, right there for talking.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
need to
Next
know that.
level.
Need to know. Yeah,
what's the
DJing's
cost?
hard.
Oh, yeah.
DJing's
For it.
hard.
DJing is the most stressful thing I've ever done on this show, by far.
Right?
So stressful.
Ever.
It's yeah. Totally. This is a nice break for me. I just get to talk shit and just, yeah.
Good.
I'm excited about. I can actually read the comments. What's up, John Holman?
Exactly.
Ash Zucker.
Yeah.
Hey,
Shout out,
today.
Mr. Youngs.
Shout out to the
Shout out,
dream
Mr.
team
Youngs.
from Reach, right? Those are our
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
right there. Bark and Music. We got a lot of nice people, a lot of regulars out today. So, what are we doing? Mr. DJ.
First up, Kazaa, Grita, specifically for Dope or Nope. Let's go. Shout out Chicago.
Let's go.
I like that.
I have no problems with that record. That record
all,
was
right?
awesome.
The
If
only
we're kicking
problem
off
with
the
it,
show like
it's
this,
3:00 in the afternoon. That's the only problem.
it's
I'm not
I have
I'm not ready.
I'm not. I
Right?
haven't had enough coffee for that one yet, but I like it.
Yeah, very good.
I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. It had a lot of interesting kind of flanged bass sounds that were happening, like little wow wow, kind of like wah wah sounds, I guess. Imagine like a guitar wah wah pedal being applied to a bass. It was really cool. Lots of that sort of thing. The percussion sort of sounded pretty good. Potentially a little bit too clean in some places, a little bit too ticky. Would have been nice to have a little bit more dirtiness or grittiness to it in some places. The vocal chops felt really nice. I don't know, Nick, what's your vibe? Do you have a vibe?
No,
Any
I
vibe
loved
there,
it.
Nick?
I did all the things I feel like we always suggest to people with throwing in some ear candy. If you have a repetitive line like that bass line, throwing in some other things to grab your attention. I agree with you. Like there is some like stuff up top, some noise that happens because what happens when you blow out a sound like that with distortion, you get a lot of like high-end artifacts that happen and they kind of get in the way of the percussion. So you might just want to throw like a multi-band high shelf on that main synth, and it'll catch some of those things that are going on up top, and it'll get them out of the way for the hi-hats to cut through. So that would be my bit of advice on the mix. But overall, from an arrangement perspective, it was awesome.
Yeah, I thought, for something that felt really complex, there was like a lot of things going on. And normally when you hear like all that, it's like, wow, that's, a little less. But I didn't, as the track kept going, like that sort of complexity, and I want to use the word busy, but I'm sure you guys have a better term for that.
No, busy's perfect. That's about right.
That's actually what drove it a little bit for me. Like, okay.
Yeah.
It was busy, just under annoying, I think is the way I want to state it properly.
Great.
Got it.
He's in the chat. He's on Twitch.
Yeah, the Scene Kings mentioned drum slap, maybe add some subtle transient shaping. That's another thing you could do. Just play around with where the transients are of some of the things going on, and it might clear up
What
some
is
room.
transient shaping? Please explain transient shaping to
please.
me.
So you're manipulating... Typically, you're manipulating the waveform from a broad sense, right? Like where the attack and the decay happen. But typically it's done on things with like a sharp attack where you want to like dull that, or things that you want punchier, you can sharpen them up and get that attack to be a lot, just a lot cleaner and a lot punchier. So we'll typically use it on everything from like hi-hats to kicks to even like staccato strings. Sometimes the string sample itself sounds awesome, but it's not sharp enough. It doesn't have that clickiness to it. So if you want that to be punchier, use a transient shaper to kind of get it there.
Got it. So when someone is suggesting the drum slap could add some subtle transient shaping, they're talking about making it punchier. Or not.
I would think so, but you could also think the other way. Like if you don't want the hi-hats to be as ticky, you want them to kind of have a slight, almost not a fade, but you just don't want them as sharp. You can use a transient shaper to soften that up, and it's a little more. It's just a little more accurate than doing it with a volume shaper.
Okay.
Wow. I got to tell you, this conversation that's happening right now, like I feel underdressed for the.
Well, you don't have your bow
occasion.
tie or your tie on. So.
No, but also
Exactly.
like transient shaper. When I get a song, I'm like, can you just cut that piece off? And that's like the end of my conversation. Just.
Yeah, Hess was really excited about the multi-band shelf suggestion earlier from Nick.
He's like, I got room on my wall for a shelf.
I'm like, is it lunch yet?
All right, moving on.
No, but to
What's
the producers out there, this is all making a lot of sense, right? And I don't have a repertoire or a vocabulary to understand the nuances of what you guys are talking about. Only that I would hear it and not think any of that stuff, but also say, "Wow, that sounds really good," or no. Quick note to Brian Fink. I'm glad you agree that went right over my head, but also in the talking shit comment, I do talk a lot of shit, so go ahead.
I was just gonna shout out Brian. Hi, Brian.
Shout
Hello,
out Brian.
Brian.
Fink.
Thank you for joining us.
You bet. Super excited.
Cool.
he's
Next
here.
up.
Also, shout out to Brian for adding our record half as much on Liftoff this week to rotation on Evolution.
Oh,
Yay.
very nice. See?
Baddies.
Some live
Very nice.
accolades to Evolution right
Wow.
there.
Imagine that. All right.
Way to
What
be.
we got?
Great station. Yeah, Rivera and Naomi Meneses. Another chance. I'm hoping it's Cascades another chance, but unlikely. Here we go.
Feels like you haven't been around. Seems like we're living different lives. Are we? I don't wanna keep you late on fighting. It's not fun, it's not a must. We're not laughing. Beneath your little words that cut like daggers. It feels a raging pool that keeps us hanging. We need another chance to maybe nice. Hold my hand. I want you in my life.
All right, Nick, you're up.
What is this from Lilith Fair 2022? Is that the Sarah McLachlan vibes?
Todd Stuckey, you're killing me right now.
Todd's in the chat. So when the vocals started, I was like, all right, I'm in. And then it wandered off to another place that I didn't understand where it went. But I like that initial, that initial 16 bar vibe, I think was a thing. And then if it just got to like a really cohesive hook, it would have been great. But it wandered off into no man's land for me. So
Like
I
the
didn't
drop?
really know where to go.
It's-
On the production
yeah.
side, I really like the angle of the drop. I thought the sounds were super cool. Mix could have been louder overall and like a little punchier, but it's tough
Yeah.
to tell sometimes on stream. But those are just my loose thoughts.
It's the same thing about that song that we were talking about last week. I think it was a couple songs. Like the first initial 16 was really cool. Then it didn't mix. You could either have to take it one direction or the other and find it to marry, and then it'll be better.
Right.
Same type of thing. Add some things in to make it more exciting, hook the listener, and then you would be good to go. But the vocal is cool and where it started, and then I feel like we all went, so we need to get away from the, and then we'll be good.
Right.
Right.
I feel like, do you guys remember a show called Night at the Apollo? You ever see that?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
a very famous venue in Harlem. And it was exactly what we're doing, but it was live. And if
This
something,
is live, FYI, just so you know.
right, but the songs were live on stage. This is live, you're right. But what they had was something extra when they heard something that was disagreeable. They would have this guy called the Sandman. And he would come out dancing on it, and he would have his own song, and they would just start playing it on top of whatever ever was happening, right? And this guy would come out with a big hook and just start,
And hook, yeah.
they literally pull the person off the stage.
Do you think that's where Metallica got the idea for Enter the Sandman?
I don't know, but this is what came across my head when Raquel went, that's what I was thinking.
Right.
Was
I
it
saw the hook.
Sandman, sing me
I just
a
don't feel
dream.
like that the
Bump.
person producing the song and the vocalist were in the same headspace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give it a crack. I would say that I didn't quite like the tone of the vocalist, and I didn't like the writing of what she was singing. I just felt it was ever so slightly on the nose. A little bit too straight and obvious, I guess. The tone wasn't great. I wondered whether it could be cool if it went through some extra processing to make it feel sort of sweeter or more melodic or auto-tuned, Melodyne, something like that. So it had some extra layers. So it didn't seem so. Maybe you could also get rid of any of like the shrill that's in some of the parts of it. And then when the synth dropped and all that kind of stuff, I like the intro to everyone else's point. I did like that a lot. When the drop happened, it just felt underproduced. It felt like it wasn't finished yet. It felt like a good idea, but it didn't quite land because it's not finished yet, meaning it hasn't got enough layers. So just keep layering it up, and you'll have something that sounds a little bit more exciting, I think.
Right, which is one of the reasons people come here, right? Get
Yeah.
some advice and then go back
Right.
and work on it.
I think the drop felt a little weird, a little choppy. Check this.
Yeah.
This part.
I want you in my life.
Yeah. And I think that the idea of that kind of shimmering feeling, it's almost like a very fast sidechain. It's not wrong. It's just there's not enough of it. There's not enough other things going on. You've only got one sound doing it, which means that all your attention's on that one sound. And if there were 2 or 3 sounds doing it, or a bass line underneath that was moving and or something else playing a counter melody, it wouldn't bother you so much. You'd sort of like feel like a shaker rhythm of it. But that vocal all across the top is really not good. Where it is, it's very dry, and it's got a shrill in it, and it's too high above the synth. And in the drop, it should be backed off more. So the vocalist felt too stiff, as per Todd Stuckey's advice as well. Anyway, moving on.
I will say though, wait, we are always very lucky to have people submit bangers and things that are almost always done. So for whoever submitted this, thank you for submitting it at this stage, because that is why we started this as demos. Just saying.
Yeah, of course.
Totally
Yeah,
true.
thanks Rivera and Naomi Meneses. And this is, I think they pulled a clip from Stranger Things, so it's kind of like the Kate Bush vibe, but it's not Kate Bush, so I'm happy about that. But the Audio Smiths Stranger Kate.
Basically, ever since you left, everything's been a total disaster. And the worst part is, I can't tell anyone why you're gone. I can't tell them that you saved Elle's life, that you saved my life. I imagine that we could have become friends.
drop, but
It feels like another Kate Bush remix, but just not as good.
without the Kate Bush.
Without Kate.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of concept of like finding something that's popular and hidden in plain sight and remixing it. It's it's a really good idea. I think it just needs some extra production around it to make it feel more fleshed out. Like that lead synth is actually kind of cool just now. That was in the drop. But yeah, the vocal in the middle, you're gonna have to get a clearance on it. That's gonna be pretty tricky, but it's good for a bootleg purpose, I suppose, as long as it doesn't take our program down.
Hasn't so far.
Yeah. Well,
Knock on wood.
I was watching the comments. I'm like, didn't
It's
happen.
like,
though.
please don't take us
Right.
down again, crying out loud. Yeah, like that. The lead is a bit too harsh for my ears when it hits. It'd be cooler to round it out more, and then if you round it out too much, then think of another sound that you could layer it on. It also felt like it was meandering a little bit too much. So figure out either how to shorten it by 4 to 8 bars to get to the good bit quicker and keep things moving, or alternatively add some extra ear candy to what Nick would probably say, to try to, some like headphone stuff to make it feel like it's not just playing a line with a bed and you have to sit there and listen to the whole speech. That would be my thinking.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
is it compelling is what you need to ask yourselves.
Right.
Well, I think
right.
Todd had mentioned that too. Like, are we at the drop yet? It was going on, but cool ideas. They just need to be sort of compiled in a briefer way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
it actually reminded me of Danny and I used to listen to a lot of the In Search of Sunrise compilations that Tiesto would put out back in the day, and the vibe of those, like this kind of fit the vibe of those, that darker sound. But I think like if you pulled that sample, and I agree with Lauren, like that lead is super cool, but it's gotta it's sitting on top of the mix. It should sit in the mix a little bit more. I would suggest to send this around to a few vocalists. Linny would be a great one. Jess, there's plenty of vocalists that we all know that I feel like would probably consider this one.
Right.
And then you could work out the arrangement around the vocal, which is always a bit easier than just having an instrumental.
Yep.
Agreed.
All right. Next record. What do you got?
Cool. Here's some fashionista for you, because we love them and we can't wait for the next fashionista to drop. And here she goes. Crazy boy.
Modulation. We did it.
Wowzer.
I feel like yeah.
Fashionista, whoever you may be, I mean, it's very complicated each
Yeah.
and every time. So he's consistent.
And also that sounded like my doorbell.
I'm sorry.
Do-do-do-do-do.
No, just a little where he just was like,
Do-do-do-do.
he shut it off and like, that's my doorbell.
I'm in the middle of something here. Can't you see?
Ryan Fink, I want this played at my funeral. That can be arranged.
Heavy rave.
God.
Yeah, but every time, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna be sitting somewhere one time. We're gonna be watching the credits in a movie,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be music by that
I'm here for that.
person.
We should
here
be
for
so
it.
lucky.
Right.
We'd be happy about that. Fashionista Funeral is the next one, please. Make a track named Fashionista Funeral.
That was the first one I feel like we've heard from Fashionista that had some sort of melodic element in it. And I'd like to hear more of that.
Right.
I'd also like to hear what Fashionista does if Fashionista does not make a record at 170 beats per minute. Where do we land? Like what happens?
I don't know, but we're here and we're open for it. Is
The world
Yes.
ends.
Keep
part.
sending, that's for sure. Keep sending
All
the
right.
stuff.
Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, so Daniel Quist and EHU, you, as I like to say, this is called Find You.
DJ Kramer in the mix.
Across the ocean blue, these waves draw me to you. Beyond these clouded skies, I find your heavenly light. I hope to find
I don't mind that. I'll start on it first if you like. It didn't feel finished, but it felt good. I thought that the vocal kind of felt a little dry, and it could have a little bit more wetness to it, a little bit more reverb, more fill. It just felt a little bit too as if she's singing right in front of you and not in a room that reflects well. And the synths were quite good. The melody's great. I think the melody's nice enough. Just needs more fills, and then also some space. So instead of just going dun 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 dun, there could be like some like little something like a turnaround at the end of that, like so some extra little piece of musical fill to fill in the space, or like a counter melody, I guess. Yeah, overall pretty good. I liked it, except it just felt a little too straight and a little too dry musically and vocally.
Yeah, vocally it was very dry.
What do you guys think about bringing up the BPM a little bit? Like, I feel like it was lagging a little bit.
So I know what you're saying. I would be hesitant to, only because of the drum programming, because of the way he's got this like anticipated clap every 2 bars. So I feel like you'd need to rework the drums a little bit more, and maybe pull some of that stuff going on. Because right now the charm of the drums is it kind of has like a swing to it, where you're gonna lose that if you speed it up.
Right.
But it could be interesting to hear a little bit quicker and with simpler drums.
Yeah. I just felt like I was like anticipating it too much, like listening to it, because obviously I don't have your ear. So I'm just like, if I was just driving listening to it, I'd be like, come on, like we're on the radio, like a little bit faster.
A little more.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I think Nick and Todd are saying the same thing. It's not necessarily the tempo, it's the way the drums are structured that creates that more like almost a chug instead of like that, like more like that. Would be, I think, a little bit more compelling. And since it's 30 minutes in, I'm going to say it, sounds like a candidate for Finish My Track.
Oh, thank you, S. 30 minutes in. Actually, DJ Wooks in the chat said the clap is my main problem. I like that anticipated clap, but it happens every time, so it doesn't feel special. If you did that once every 4 claps, it would be fine.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Spawn, for the reminder that we were 30 minutes in, by the way.
Yes, Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows
Hey,
we don't keep track of time, so.
Kate, can we just talk real quick about Austin, you sent this video, like the Aoki, cake Aoki.
Yeah.
Like, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. And
Lauren's
like,
tired of hearing about it, I'm sure.
Lauren's like,
No, not really. I'm
what
interested.
but did you watch that video?
No, I haven't.
Oh my
It's
God.
so good.
Like first of all, Mike Bond has done so much work just on the song itself, production.
Yeah.
It's like gotten it to such, I think, a very strong level, but
Mm-hmm.
so it was already fun. But the video that goes along with that is insane. What he,
Yep.
There's scenes in there, I'm like, bro, there's like club scenes, and he went, I mean, you know, I think we all have an understanding what it takes to do that, you know, in real life, because then you take the pieces and make that into what your Instagram thing is. But holy crap, he's done so much work. What is that video up or out?
No,
or?
so Scoop hit me to introduce me to him after the last record, when we played the record the first time.
Right.
And so I was on this group text with him and Scoop was like, "Yeah, I'll jump on the record too." So then he sent me the video, and he's like, "Yo, we've been putting in work on this thing," and it all stemmed from like he met Aoki in Asia, and is a big fan, and then like this record kind of came out of it, and it's inspired him to do production, and but it's super dope.
If ever there was a fanboy record, like this is the ultimate like fanboy record, period.
Agreed.
And the amount of work. I mean,
We'll see if Lauren goes for it.
yeah.
I've just put it on my essential listening list, and I've also
We're talking,
alerted-
and Lauren's like, tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, I've sent it out to the whole of the DimMac channel right now. I just literally sent. I'm bumping this because I sent it last week. Need feedback. There's a lot of heat on it, and then they'll ask me what the heat is, and I'll say, well, that's just Hess and Disco Fries and Kramer and Raquel
Bro,
going
he wrote
crazy on it.
Dimmock on the cake in the video. I mean,
The video is amazing.
I've seen that.
But in all fairness, it wasn't just us. Like people in the chat when we played the record,
we're losing their
people in
minds.
the chat
Yeah.
were loving it.
yeah, absolutely. I just needed to bring that up because that, no matter like when you see stuff like that in the middle of your day, regardless of what you're going through, you just have to go.
All right, I'll watch it. Okay, I'll watch it.
You gotta see
You gotta
it.
watch it. It's funny. It's really.
I will
fun.
drive over to Lauren's house and be like, "Did
Exactly.
you watch it
Yeah,
yet?"
if you drive over to my house, then I'll definitely watch it.
There you go. There it is.
Alright,
real
Lauren-
life.
Lauren,
Hour.
drive to Raquel's house and fix the drawer that's still not fixed.
Guys,
Ah, the
it's
damn draw.
broken.
I thought we like it. I thought that's the consensus.
No, I thought
Character.
it is
Character.
character. I'm in.
Let's
I'm
get
in.
the. I'm gonna leave you up at the top there so everyone can see this broken drawer there, Raquel. Just push it. It's
And then I
totally
almost broke my
fixable.
finger. Fixing it.
Hey Raquel, here's a question for you. How many people have offered to come over and fix that?
None.
Lol, I've seen 2 in the chat in the last few weeks.
Okay, like
we're
2
on
in the
it.
chat. But like, it adds
Yeah.
character.
Right.
All right. Okay.
Austin, what
All
do
right,
we got
next.
next, brother? By the way,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're just joining us, Dope or Nope, every Thursday, 3 p.m. EST, our illustrious team right here, Lauren Padman from Dimmock Records and soon to be owner of Cake Aoki. How to throw that in there. And great studio aficionado. Mike Bond, wake up. Good morning.
There he is.
Nick
Hello, good
Dietrich
morning.
from the Disco Fries and Liftoff Recordings, Austin Kramer on Tomorrowland, and One World Radio. Hello.
Howdy
Ford
doody.
Bronco.
Hey,
Ford
yes,
Bronco, he's
I was going through Disco Fries, what was it, Twitter? No, YouTube. And I forgot about this series they used to produce, and it was called the Ghost Producers. And I gotta say, I don't think we've ever brought it up on the show before, but that is the best name ever.
Producers.
2 douchebag dudes doing a show about production. Ghost producers. That's how we got that.
Wins
I
the
love
next
it. So funny.
episode.
We did 2 seasons of it. We did a lot of them, and then we just moved on to finishmytrack.com. So,
There it
Hey.
is.
There we go. Okay,
And-
well, up next, we got Quentin Berger, Night is Gone. If y'all are ready. Yes.
Here we go. Mike Bond wants to do a collab with Austin. I like it.
Oh wow, Google's not working.
Is that a Google Drive thing?
I had her sitting there waiting.
It's a whole lot of no music.
Once you play me. There it is.
Hey, so while we're waiting for that, we're taking questions from the audience. Oh, wait, we have music? Here we go.
You ever had to slow down? You ever had to go? No compromising, no time, no more. Forced to be whatever I haven't yet begun. I'm realizing, hey, is the story done? Yeah, was it you or was it me? Or was it us? What to believe and where to go? And should we run and what we had and could become? And singing, yeah. And the time runs on, yeah. And the fear is gone, yeah. Gone. The night is gone. And I wait until the break of dawn, yeah. Gone. The time runs on. And I wait until the fear is gone, yeah. Gone. The night is gone. And I wait until the break of dawn, yeah. Gone. The time runs on. And I wait until the fear is gone, yeah. Whatever is on my mind, I try to hold it on. The pain is deep and I'm margin strong. I didn't see it coming and I've always come my way.
All right, Austin, you can start talking about this
and I've got to pay. And where to go?
Or is it going to be you or is it going to be Nick?
What we had and
No, Austin can take it. Austin, let's hear what your
Austin,
thoughts
you
are.
want to go first?
The music's
gonna love
really
it.
loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Google Drive.
Google Drive is
It's the worst to
Not
play
good.
back
in
from.
this. in
Yeah,
this
she's a
thing.
tough one, but I don't know. The vocal's strong. It's like Toto Africa.
I
knew you'd
love it.
Yeah. Yep.
You knew it. Who doesn't though? Is a better question. Who doesn't?
Is anyone getting Van Morrison out of this, or just me? Because
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little.
More Toto Africa though.
Right.
Yeah.
Proto Africa is such a great song.
Agreed.
Not a
It's
great
got the vibe,
comparison.
though. I don't drink, but I suddenly am thirsty for a beer.
I like this. I think it feels
I like
good.
this too.
Yeah. No, I
Definitely.
think somebody said, maybe it was Todd, it was like the mix. I mean, there's some things there that even someone like myself can hear, but yeah, I think it's got, if they nailed that production correctly and like really married that vocal more with the track, I think it's, I think it could actually be some very interesting, summer track.
It's very like
So my-
Americana, you know?
Yeah, agreed. My two suggestions would be more live guitar, and instead of the vocal going through the whole record, go for like a whistle mimicking the vocal melody in the chorus. Think like World Hold On vibe.
Bob Sinclair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bob Sinclair, World Hold On, but like use that whistle to mimic the lead of the chorus line, and you've got a winner.
Oh, so
Because
that's
you
a
want
studio
to miss
trick.
the vocal. We would like
Right.
to miss the vocal in EDM music.
Right.
What's a
Right,
studio
exactly.
trick?
Well, I thought that was a studio trick where they use like a whistle or something like that. Now you're telling me it's like a sort of an idea to do. I always thought they just ran out of lyrics. I'm like, oh, I couldn't think of anything else, so you whistle.
I mean, maybe, but it works, right? You
Just
remember
saying.
the whistle.
Right.
No,
I mean,
not
Frankie
at
had a
all.
whole song like that, so it worked for
Yeah,
him.
the whistle song. Right. No, this is great advice. The whistle idea is a compromise between having an instrumental section and continually feeling like an instrumental's too boring or too empty, and you need to fill it with vocals, which we've already established on previous shows. That is a little bit too much and ear fatiguing ultimately, or ear fatiguing for my American friends. The trouble is that I think that you've got a song that is good and it has a home and it should have a place, but currently it doesn't feel expensive. And I think the reason why it doesn't feel expensive is because the vocal is too dry. It needs to have an auto tune and a couple of moments that are a bit pitchy, but it needs to have more reverb on it to make it feel like it's being sung in a like a bathroom kind of concept where you get that reverb and ringing off the walls, just tucked down a bit more. A live guitar, to Nick's point, would be perfect. But just to me, I would listen to World Hold On is a good reference, the Bob Sinclair record, but also what was the song I was thinking of? Oh yeah, Wake Me Up. Like, listen to Wake Me Up by Avicii and think about what some elements, maybe not the drop because it's a little different to yours, but what other elements through the verse and the pre-chorus could be used in this song, and then you'll go, oh, I know, it's missing a really bright guitar, it's missing a rhythm guitar in the back, it's missing reverb, it's missing this and that, and you'll be able to fill out the track better. So it's close.
Yeah, the other one I was listening to last week because I pulled up a bunch of those records. Love Generation. Do you remember Love Generation?
Great record. Great
Such
record.
a good song. And that's like super guitar focused through the whole record.
Right.
It's actually mixed like, it's almost mixed like a rock record, or like it's not mixed like a dance record if you go and listen to it. Granted, it's older now, but it's still not mixed like a dance record from that time.
Right. But that's what I think I like about this demo. It's like a nice slice between those two worlds, right? So it rides on both sides of that a little bit, and I think the whistle, perhaps that idea, and then a little bit more guitar, and then just like really syncing everything together would solidify that piece as a body of work that I think would be very enjoyable.
Honestly, go listen to just different Aloe Black records, and you'd find cool little nuances to put in there.
100%.
And we say it all the time, but when we talk about a record for this long, it means it does have something compelling to it.
Yes.
So
it's not because we hate it.
Yeah, take this feedback and hopefully use it to make that better. And bring it back when you do.
Yeah, right,
yes,
exactly.
please.
Come on back. Austin, what are you playing in the background?
No demos on Thursdays. Next one up, Sonic Imaginary Days.
Then this sounds to me like a really good intro, and that's it.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I zoned out after like the first 15 seconds.
I think, but I think that's what I like about it, though. Like, to me, this is 6:37, possibly 8 in the morning, and I'm still there. And at this point, this is the only thing I can do, right? That's all that's left, right? You can just do the little rock back and forth. That's all I got. The sun is rising, or you're at space. Well, no, different things happening there. Or you're somewhere. It's outside. Like this is completely that tool for me.
Yeah.
Not anything I could work with at like radio or any of the other stuff. May not even sound. If you can't imagine that, then it doesn't work in any other sort of space for me. Like, I can't think of it like, who would I pitch this? How would I pitch this to
It's
Spotify? But it's 100% potentially, because I've been in that situation. It's 100% that place. It's geographical. It's a one-time. I would not even remember this song 10 minutes later, or that afternoon. But it would absolutely be this just lovely vibe for that moment.
I know where
But
they
what
would
about
play
a
this.
melody? A melody? Could a melody happen
I
somewhere?
don't know.
I have another suggestion. I think it could be really good for a hotel lobby.
Yes, I was gonna say a hotel lobby.
Yeah,
Like a really cool, awesome hotel that has got
Trendy.
like a really nice ambiance and a really nice smell about it, and it's like they're invested very heavily into making their hotel feel cool and not feel like it's trying to be over the top or boring. This would be really
Right.
great for that kind of
Yes.
feeling or scene, and therefore maybe it's good also for not a car chase scene, but like a scene in a movie as well. But yeah, I hear you on the vibes. I think it could be it would be a record that I would play if it was 6 or 7 a.m. and you're kind of just in an instrumental groove, and you were trying to just hold the crowd in that consistent kind of hypnosis or monotony or whatever it's called.
Right.
That
Sounds
type of
like
idea.
Red Light Swedish House Mafia says Max Roverner 13 from Twitch. I somewhat agree with that.
Yeah,
It's got them
they would
old school
definitely.
sounds.
They would
Done.
play this at the bungalow in Santa Monica, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
I also
Sunday,
think like
Sunday.
the Blue
That's what it
Marlin
is.
in Ibiza would be the same thing. Right. That's
Definitely a beachy track.
yeah.
Yeah,
Beach
like
house.
the hotel Lorna's talking about, like in Santa Monica, the cool trendy hotel that's brand new, trying to get everyone vibes. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
I would imagine if I was going to go and see, if I went to see one of the, like, if I was going to go see Disco Fries DJing in Miami, and they said, "Oh, we're going to be at this rooftop. Come find us at this hotel," and then we would get to the hotel, and there's like like an entry guest list situation at the bottom of the elevators, and we had to sit there. This is the song that I'd want to sit there and listen to
Yes.
whilst I
That
was waiting
picture.
to go up.
You're not on the
right.
list.
Yeah.
And then you
So
go
are we going?
upstairs, and then you go upstairs, and all you hear is cake like Aoki, cake like Aoki. Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, that's me. I'm working with Aoki.
I'm with Aoki. Big shout out to EDX. I was lucky enough to spend a couple minutes with him last week in Amsterdam.
Oh, welcome back. Gotta go.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was great. I just had a couple work days there, and then Michael Piron, who runs Armada Music, got married at this like crazy castle in south of in Holland. It was
It looked insane.
So I gotta tell you something really quick. So we're in this like very old historic building, and in this part of Netherlands, there's like it's not what you see in Amsterdam. There's no like little bridges. There's zero water. It's all farms. It's beautiful. It's on the Belgian border, and it's like this beautiful place. And after we have something to eat, they sort of wind us into this opening, which you don't realize it at first, but you're literally walking into the mountainside. And it's basically a giant cave, but I mean like massive cave. And inside was a club. I mean, light gear, the whole thing. Armin played. It was pretty sick. Yeah, the name of the town, Maurizio is reminding me, is called Maastricht. It's amazing. Like you walk through the door where you're like, oh, we're in a cave, and then it's like, no, we're in a club in a cave.
Well, congratulations to Make Hell.
Yeah, it
That's
was.
awesome.
It's been trying to do this for like the last 6 years.
Todd Stuckey, dude, I really like this song. Yeah, I can't get off it.
It's an
It's a good
earworm,
bed.
man.
It's a good bed for talking. That's for.
Yeah, it is a really good bed. There you go.
What is that synth?
By the way,
All
Lauren.
right, send it to me.
By
Send
the
it to
way,
me.
Lauren, you're the real hero because I saw the footage of you, the recap video of the event you DJ'd, that you told the story of how you were gonna like try to like work your way on to this show in Vegas, and you got your own recap video from it, which is just amazing.
Wait, what happened? Was that last week's show when I was gone?
Yes, you missed it.
Lauren, why don't you give
Okay.
him the? We'll jump back to music in a second, but we gotta talk about this for a minute. So
All
give him
right,
the story
God dang it.
briefly.
Okay, so there's a new restaurant that's opened up in Las Vegas at the Venetian Hotel. It's called Wakuda, and it's named after the 2-star Michelin chef, Chef Wakuda, who's come over to open his first restaurant in America, and it's absolutely awesome as you could possibly imagine. And the guest list was a very, very restricted 300, and it's like free, obviously everything. The food's being made by this 2-star Michelin chef and his sous chefs, and then handed out as sushi and things like that to people standing around. And my girlfriend Brooklyn was head of marketing and PR for it from her company Narrative PR, and she was explaining it to me, and we've been talking about it for months and months. And then I'm thinking, how do I get myself on this guest list? I said, do you have any, like, what's the guest list situation? She's like, oh, forget it. It's impossible. You can't do it. It's da da da. And I'm like, okay, no worries. And then anyway, she asked me a technical question about, oh, could you just have a look at this DJ console request that's come in and see if it looks like it could be correct?
There's the opening.
And I'm like, well, I could. And then I said, no, all right, well, what are you using it for? She's, well, the DJs, there's 2 DJs, DJ 5 is one of them, and we're going to have the DJs play on the kit, but there's going to be 2 performances, and one's from a geisha, and that's the only geisha who's been given permission from their society to leave Japan and come out to America on a tour. So it's the only geisha, and she's actually, her name's Charmy, and she's the only geisha who's ever come out as gay as well. So she's quite an extraordinary person, and she's performing to a set piece of music which was mostly flutes, and ultimately it was really, really loud, and it kind of needed someone to duck the flutes, and I finished up actually running it through Ableton and fixing it beforehand. But and then there was these b-boys who did Japanese style street dancing, and I thought, well, if I was a DJ, for example, and like I don't know, let's say, for example, you're Steve Aoki and you're like, I play this music, this is my set. You're not going to break your set to play someone else's thing and come back to it. So I thought it could be a nice gesture for the resident DJs to not have to do that. And I said, well, how about I'll come in and I'll be the DJ to play the performance pieces for the other people when they're performing throughout the night. And she's like, yeah, let me check in on that. And then she comes back, she goes, you're in. And I'm like, come on. So it was awesome. It was actually such a fantastic show. They even had the world record holder sumo wrestler who came in as well, and he's the largest, biggest. He's enormous, so tall, even just way bigger than me. So it was a really great night. Wakuda in the Venetian, and it's open now. Friday was the launch for those 300, and then they started doing the open thing on Saturday, and Steve Aoki incidentally went in there on Monday. So there you go.
Amazing. How's the food?
There was a point where Chef Wakuda was behind the sushi bar that you would not imagine at a restaurant, and he's got a like a fire spray that they use to like heat things with. It kind of like, imagine if you got fly spray and you lit it on light. So he's doing that, but he's kind of got it like, imagine this is the beam from it. He's got the beam on the side, and he's heating up the product like that from the side of the heat, not directly onto it. So he's doing these kinds of tricks, and he's got his hand out, and he's doing this and trying to feel the heat and adjust the heat, and making Wagyu beef like melt over onto the sushi roll that he was making. And then when he's finished, he like looked at it and poked it a bit, and then handed it over and sort of said, "Oh, here, would you like one?" I'm like, what is happening with my life right now? Great.
Nick, I think I saw you drool there for a second.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
But how did you get a recap video out of it too?
I have a girlfriend who works in marketing and PR for the Venetian Hotel. So they were like, here, let me snap together some things for you. And I'm like, that would be fine.
That would be fine. And also, Todd Stuckey, I'm with you. Its song is still playing, and I still don't mind it.
Yeah, this background song is perfect. So
I love it.
D-Mac, we're putting it on New Noise. That's it. We're signing.
I can't help myself. It's too good.
So So I'm gonna end this song just with one statement. This song says nothing and everything simultaneously.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to another record that we might be into.
Hey, if
probably
you're
got
just
time for
joining
another
us
three.
here on Reach.me, welcome. Dope or Nope, as we like to call it. It's all about the demos, unfinished tracks, unsubmitted tracks, unreleased tracks. It's all the same. It's music that people hasn't heard yet. And I didn't say have not, I said has not, because it hasn't.
Hasn't heard it.
Hasn't heard it.
Nope,
Y'all.
nope, nope. Not had until you come to the show and listen to us on a Thursday. Up next is Devlix, Tech House Demo, parentheses, Dope or Nope. So
See, he's getting the hang of this.
I'm here for everything Austin's doing. Right. All of it.
Yeah.
Let it go. Oh, all the way up.
Not bad. Not bad.
What the heck was that?
That was a nice cut. It was good. We can
What
get
a cut.
talking about it. It's probably all we needed. What do you reckon,
Yeah.
Raquel?
I love it.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. It's just
Who
the
am I
right
turning
amount.
into? This is not normally something I would like, but after like being at all these festivals
Really?
the past couple months, I'm like, yeah.
Where did all the emo vibes go? She was like,
I
cut the
know,
lawn.
where?
Cut
I
the
don't
lawn. We're
know.
going now.
Yeah, I'm
Raquel,
like, yes.
Raquel, you were very much into your emo vibes, but that was winter and it was Clubhouse. But now you're in LA. It's summer.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
visual.
Hot girl
you think that-
summer.
you think that's it?
Hot girl summer.
There it is.
Sounds good to me. I'm all about it.
Yeah, no, yeah, maybe it is because it's summer and it's hot, and I'm like, yeah. I don't know. I really like this. I wish there was vocal on it. I would want to play it on my show.
Ah, there's a bit of advice.
It'd be really cool in like a video game too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just
or,
thought about his name. It's Devlix. Dablix? Duvlex. Dulex.
What? How do you spell it?
DVLEX. So. But
Or
yeah,
do you think it needs like one less thing at the top of the drop?
Oh, Devlix is in the house. It's
play the top of the drop again.
Yeah.
so
here
it's
we go.
pronounced DV, so Dev Lex.
DV Lex.
Oh my God!
It's fire.
Yeah, totally. If you're trying to remove something at the top of the drop, you get rid of that
Yeah, agreed.
vocal.
Mm-hmm.
If you remove that vocal, then it's just going to hit harder because it will be darker. There'll be less to move your mind onto. You'll be able to focus just on that one thing. On the bass, the bass itself has got like an engine noise that seems to be like revving up and down as well. Plus, it's got like the little bleepy pieces in it. It's got enough. The drop definitely has enough without the vocal, and then you could, for the second half of the drop, you could put in the vocal parts to make it feel like it's a more exciting thing, along with like a hi-hat or a shaker or a high screen or something like that.
Well, before we get too carried away, he titled it Tech House Demo, so I think that we have full right and approval to title this track. So what do you guys say? I'm going to call it the Wagyu Heater.
All right.
I think it should be called Hot Girl Summer. Let's go.
Oh, there we go. That was it.
Hot girl summer it is.
There it is.
Vocal.
There it
I'll even vote
is.
for that. It's way better than
Awesome.
Wagyu here.
Get a sexy vocal on it, like Todd Stuckey said, and then call it Hot Girl Summer. You're done. Marketing's
That's it.
done.
Vocal. What would
I
it
don't
be?
know.
Like a
The vocal would be the vocal should be like there's already a cut up vocal in there, the one that we're talking about that we should remove at the top of the drop. That's like it's like lower key register down. So it's a female vocal, I think, and it's low. It's not high. It's not pop. It needs to be kind of dark or
raspy.
It needs to be down, not up. It's not trying to be a diva vocal. It's not trying to be a pop vocal. It needs to feel almost like a sexy lounge vocalist, but chopped up or cut up or sped up. But yeah, I would use something like that and make it more matter of fact as the pre-drop hook. So whatever you come up with as a pre-drop hook, make it just sort of like it's a throwaway line, like she's just saying it and doesn't even care what you think, and then hit the drop.
Do you mean like all the stuff in the Chainsmokers record from back in the day, where they had just all the gossiping in the background? And then
The Let Me Take a Selfie?
Selfie record?
Are you trying to say
Yeah,
that they
kinda.
like interstitials in between?
Yeah, that would
Don't
make
really
sense.
mean
Just a simple, but first let me take a selfie. That's that same kind of idea, but less. That particular vocal was very on purpose, was very nasal. So I'm thinking of more of a Sade, more a more fuller voice, a voice that's kind of got more body to it.
Mary
I don't know. I
J.
kind of need
Yeah, there you go. Hess.
5 girls on the beach talking about their day before and then the drop.
Have you guys heard the? Did you guys hear the Bathroom Line record with Bingo Players and Zookeeper?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
No, I mean, if a long time's like 2 months, then yeah.
Oh, no. Sorry. I was thinking of another record around the same time that was meant to have like a... I remember there was another record around the same time as Selfie that someone went, oh, okay, well, I won't put that out. And then they did anyway.
No, this Bathroom Line record's dope, and it's got like a playful vocal, and it's a good reference. So just check that one out.
Cool.
Cool. Are we
Got
down
time
to
for
one
more, y'all?
Are we down to one demo?
I got
We've
one left
still
here
got,
for you.
we might still have one more demo. Go.
Here you go. All right. This is Pex L, Feel Love, Unsigned. Dope or no? Demos? What?
We have a splice vocal.
Yep. I literally said I love this vocal. I bet you it's Splice. And literally a second later, Todd said this is Splice vocal.
Really well put together, though.
This is Pex L.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're talking to him about the record he played, I think it was last week or the week before, about putting that out on Liftoff. It was my demo of the day, and I love his production, so that vocal could get swapped out easy.
Was that from last week? Enough, I think it's called?
Yeah, it would have been that one.
Oh, that's
I think
from
his
Bianca.
production's awesome. I really love his production on this, too.
Yeah.
It just needs space. Like, the drop needs a little break in a few spots. That relentless synth can stop and then have, like, a reverse reverb and going into the next section. Because right now it's a little relentless.
Yeah, it doesn't let up. But that's good. I like that.
That was a nice break. Yeah, love that.
Whatever, like the I like that thing.
Can I make a suggestion? At the beginning of the drop, just before it starts, there's a lot of noise and instrumentation happening in that part. If, for example, you thinned it out and made space there, so almost imagine it kind of going to silence. Austin, you might be able to cue this part. If just running into the pre-drop, running into the drop, like just give me like 2 or 3 seconds before the drop hit in the build. Imagine it being thinned out. Yeah, too much going on.
Yeah, it doesn't. It should almost go all the way out before that little before the drop hits.
Yeah, you need to remove the extra little percussion that it felt like the snares didn't stop and then the kick started. So you need to make some space and then the drop will hit harder.
Agreed.
Yes.
Nice one. I would say that's a top. Is that my demo of the day? It's
That could be
possible.
mine too.
Yeah.
It's mine.
Shout out
Everyone
Pexel.
gets a demo of the day for that one. Very nice.
I can't give out a demo of the day with a spliced vocal. I just can't bring myself to do it. So.
Come on.
Okay, so try to listen to it as if you were hearing it without the acapella.
I mean, I can do that. I'm capable of that.
I'm capable of that as well, and I'm just doing it now as we speak. And now I'm wondering if it still counts as a demo of the day.
I'd give it a demo of the day as an instrumental, sure.
All right, okay, both. Okay, we'll both do it. Can you
Yeah.
cue the sounds, please? Demo of the day.
Hang on. Let me find it. I still haven't added it to my database.
We need a ding.
Where is it?
So was that all of us? We all gave that one demo of the day.
That
as
was
an
5.
instrumental?
That's 5. Everybody.
Woo!
I might rescind and give it to the beach house.
Oh yeah, that's funny. I was even thinking something like that.
Right? How good was that?
That's good. It's almost signed to new noise already. I love it.
Sonic with a K.
That was a lot of typing you were doing, Lauren. There it is.
That's my demo of the day noise. Oh my god.
Delivery.
Yeah.
Right. So was that all the demos?
Yeah.
That was
Yes,
it.
sir.
That's
Awesome,
us.
awesome. So everybody, thank you for joining Dope or Nope every week, Thursday, 3 p.m. EST, especially during the summer. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for sending us music. Nick, Raquel.
How do we get music sent to us, Hess?
Oh, that's so easy. DopeOrNopeMusic.com.
What was that again? Sorry. Dope or
Dope
Nope
or
music.com.
Nopemusic.com.
No dashes, no spaces.
No, none of those things.
All right.
They're not allowed.
All right. Very good.
So good to be back and have all
Oh,
of this
sorry.
on here.
Sorry, the bell keeps going off.
You found it. You found the bell. Was it
Now we
you giving
can't
the
get rid
bell
of it.
for dopeornopemusic.com? Was that what that was?
Yeah, I didn't mean to do it then, but I'm just going to get one of the things, like one of the actual bells. That'll make
bell?
it much better.
Oh my goodness. An actual real sound bell.
Good idea.
I just saw this note, sorry. Can I get a shout out? Who is this? Adam? We didn't do any shout outs, did we?
No, let's go for it. We'll
Shout
roll
out.
out of here with some shout outs.
Anabolic Chorizo on Reddit asked for a shout out, and there's your shout out. And that's an
There it
awesome
is.
name. Bad
DJ
Monkey
Mike.
Music,
Yeah.
Todd Stuckey, of course, Bass Strict Music, Mike Bond, thanks for coming, bringing the track, bringing the video.
Bring the cake.
Phileas Foggs, shout out to the Fried Fam, and Bianca, thanks so much. Rimnez Music, thank you for coming. Both shows today. a lot of these guys were on both shows. So thank you.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah, every week. Thank you. So what do you guys got planned for the weekend? Nick, you want to go since you're on top there?
Sure. So just family stuff this weekend, but funny story. So I'm working on a dual citizenship, which is taking me forever.
What?
With
To
here in
where?
Italy.
Italy.
Here in Italy.
Had to be Italy. Yeah.
I've been working on it for a while, so I had to track back to find out which side of my family I could get it through. So I can get it through my dad's side, but the problem is you need the original birth certificate of the person.
Oof.
So
That seems difficult.
the next problem was that doesn't exist here in the States. There's no record of it. So this is my great-great-grandfather, I think it is. So I had to go back to the original town in Italy to try to retrieve it. Well, that town was consumed by a volcano, partially. So those records got burned, but they have them on film. So I was like, screw this. I'm just going to hire a service to do it at this point because I can't get there to do it, whatever. So I pay this service. It's like $60 or something to go retrieve it. And so 3 months later, I get an email this week. They're like, sir, we're sorry to tell you we can get it, but it's going to require another payment. I'm like, all right, I must be getting scammed here. So
Here it comes.
I click the link, and then it's like a private, secure email, and they're like, we're sorry to inform you it's going to cost you €10 for us to retrieve this certificate. And I'm like, breaking the bank, man.
Is that we ran out of gas on the way there? That's what it feels like.
We need 2 more liters of fuel to
My
get
scooter has a flat. I need €10.
to this. Yeah. So
That's awesome,
I've
though.
made it to the next phase of this process.
That's awesome. My son is actually in Germany right now working on a dual citizenship, a German one. And he is, my mom is visiting. He has an apartment in Berlin now, and he's over there hanging out with her. He actually, while we were on the show, he texted me a picture of a bottle of schnapps that my grandfather, my great-great-grandfather made that just got pulled out of the closet, and they were consuming together. And he's like, it's amazing, like this stuff still even tastes good. It was never opened. This is like probably 80
That's
years
crazy.
ago. But anyway, he's doing the same thing. I'm finding a lot of people looking for dual citizenship. And in the idea that, hopefully America gets their shit together and, you know what I mean?
Don't get me
Some people
started.
are feeling like exit stage left. But also I want to just say, like, I'm here to stand and fight for what's correct and right as well, you know?
Phileas Foggs in the chat asked, dual citizenship, anything to do with Euro royalty rights? Hey, listen, don't tempt me with a good time. There might be some things.
It's like, what?
I would just like to bring to everyone's attention that I do have indeed an exit strategy if required. This is the backup in case all fails and goes really crazy. We don't have the dual citizenship for America yet, but the visas are very nice and very enjoyable. But I always seem to have this within a couple of meters of me at all times in case everything gets really hairy.
Don't lose that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Lauren, what do you got for the weekend? Come
Let
on
me
with
see,
this track.
5 hours of tennis on Sunday, and catching up with a couple of my friends that are coming from Australia, and a couple of our friends who are leaving to go back to Australia on Monday. So it'll be like a high and buy party of sorts.
Nice. All right. Super
Awesome.
cool. We'll enjoy that. Raquel?
Wow, we both swapped it at the same time. Raquel,
I didn't swap.
I
I
did.
didn't do it.
I did.
My clients are in town from Korea, so
Oh,
their
yeah.
concert's tomorrow in Koreatown at the LA Theater. If you guys want to go to a K-pop concert and you're in LA, AB6 will be performing. And then they're in town for 10 days, so we have 2 press days for them. We have a fan event on July 4th, so I'm very excited. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
It's gonna
That
be
sounds like a
good.
good time.
Yeah. Like,
Mr.
practice my
Austin
Korean, too.
What's that?
Yes.
Practice my Korean.
Yeah, you'll have no choice in that one, right?
Yeah, literally.
Austin, what are you up to?
This week is a work weekend. I will be staying in the United States happily, and next week we are traveling to Jacksonville, Florida, to the amazing hospital Mayo. Shout out Mayo. I love it on
Yes.
my sandwiches, and I love
Yeah.
the hospital. But yeah, my wife is going through a procedure next week,
Yeah.
so I'll be out
Good
next
luck
week.
with that. I'm
Listen to
so
music this week.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that
Thanks.
that's happening for you guys. That's really a big deal.
Thank you.
Yeah, once again, demos, dopeornopemusic.com, all one word. Try it out. We do this every week, 3 p.m. EST. I will be hanging out, waiting for my wife to test negative, and then we are in a car headed to Maine.
Oh, nice.
So
That's great.
yeah, we're almost there. Almost there. So
Heading back
thank
home.
you. What's that?
George from Naples.
I know where it all started. To that exact house, by the way.
Nice.
And we'll be cooking up a storm all week. Really excited about it. So thank you everyone again for joining us here on Dope or Nope. You can see us every week at reach.me. Make sure you follow everyone here. We have some really nice things that happen during the week also on everyone's Instagram, on their social media. And don't forget, hug someone you love. It's never too late to tell them. And one more time, the name of this track.
Sonic, Imaginary Days. Beautiful.
Also, very aptly named, I might add.
True.
Yeah.
You guys
Are
have
we
Good
gonna hop into Todd's Twitch here?
Yeah, we're gonna rate into
Are we
Todd
going to
on-
Todd?
It was
Liquid
so fun.
Todd on Twitch is where
Nice.
we're gonna
Thanks,
rate.
everyone.
And
Much
before we
appreciated.
go, Anabolic asked if Raquel could teach us Korean, so maybe she could say goodbye in Korean.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Can you do
I
that?
love it.
I know how to say bye. 안녕히 가세요.
Annyeonghaseyo gasano.
Yeah, there's different ways to
And
say
on that
it.
note,
Bye.
On that note, here we go to Liquid Todd.
peace, everybody.
Later, y'all.
See you, everybody.
Bye.